Logos and images are one thing, but font and color will be even more important. So when you've got your logo and your images, you really do want to make sure that your images kind of connect back to your logo. What I mean by that is, let's say your logo is purple, green, and white, let's just say. You now want to make sure that the images you add on your website kind of contain those colors. It doesn't have to be full on green or full on purple, but maybe grayscale images are going to work better than a yellow and blue image. What the hell has yellow and blue got to do with purple and green? Yeah, okay, yeah, I know it's colors and spectrum and all of that. But you're thinking about complementary colors. I've seen many websites whereby you can literally tell that their branding is like a yellow, black and white, grey. And the images have hints of yellow in them. Just here and there in careful placement. But it works. Everything just flows. Whereas I've seen websites where, again, maybe the logo was blue, red and white and a bit of black, and the images were full on green. And you look at it and go, where's the connection? This image hasn't even got a hint of blue or red in them, and it starts to feel detached. And that's the problem with stock photography. If you are going to do that for your website or someone else's, please take the time to just look at the logo, look at the what image are you going to have on the main hero banner and every other image, and start to form your colors. Now, I'm going to show you somewhere that I would recommend you have a look at when it comes to colors, okay? So I'm going to show you a website called Colorpalettes.net. Colorpalettes.net is one of my favorite websites. Let's say you're talking to your client right now and you're trying to get out of them, what is your color palette? So you might have a logo that is, say, like I said, purple and green, right? Well, what other colors do you have on the website? Their logo is purple and green. What else do you go with? And also, what percentage do you break it down? I will explain that in a moment. What we're going to do over here is we are going to click two colors. You can do this with one color, by the way, but I'm going to pick two. We're going to go with green, like that. And we're going to go with purple as well. And I'm going to click pick up. Now, what that will now do, this is colorpalettes.net, by the way. It's a free website. This is now going to give me, that's a very light lilac-y purple, but can you see we've got purple and greens going on here? Lots of different shades. Let me just jump to page 4. Let's just go to an example. There we go, right? So we're starting to get different shades, but if we look at this image here, can you see that we have purple and we have bits there, but the dominant color is more of this green? This is now telling me that I could go back to my client and go, which image do you like? And they might go, oh, you know what? I really like this image over here. And if this is the image they like, I now know that, right, we've got purple and green, but we've also got this like navy bluey, greeny, murky color as well. And that's more the background color. And I now start to understand the look of the website. How much green is there? Well, we have green, but maybe that green is like what? 15% of the page? So maybe that will be my button color or a divider line. This starts to get you to think very differently about your color schemes. Look, this is an amazing, amazing website. Let me just go and pick red, for instance, and look, we start to get different shades coming in. You start to understand the power of color. So if you've got a client or yourself and you kind of know your color, but you're not sure of what to use, colorpalettes.net is a great one. Now, the other thing is your font. If you have a very formal website, you want to go with strong, bold fonts. Maybe it's a bit more curlier. Maybe, like for a nursery or a creche or a clothing chain, even luxury, they tend to have a bit more of that handwriting style. Here's a great place to go and look at the fonts you might want to consider for your website. This is called fontjoy.com. This is completely free, by the way, okay? Now, what you can do is you can start to mix up your headline, your subheader, and your body text. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over here where it says Montserrat. I'm going to click this, and in fact, I'm going to change this to be railway. And I'm going to go with this railway, not that one. We'll go with this one here, Railway 500. That is now going to be my headline text. And I'm now going to lock it. And then I'm going to click generate. And what it does is give me Denk1 for the subheader and then Muktavani for the body. And if I like Muktavani, I can lock that and hit generate again. And all it will do now is change the subheader and give me a completely different one. So you could, I mean, I'm going to unlock all of these and just hit generate and just let it change all of them. But you can now start to get different font pairings that kind of complement and work with each other. So when you are getting those fonts from the Google website, you now know what you're getting. And this, for me, if you, for instance, your client might say to you, oh yeah, I really like the Roboto text. So you go in and you pick a Roboto for your body. So let's just go with Roboto 300. Let's lock that. But they don't know what their headline one is, and you don't want to just use Roboto. So I click generate, and there we go. It's now giving me a couple of font styles, and I could lock that one and say, right, let's still change the middle one, for instance, fontjoy.com. Getting the right font, getting the right colors on your website, again, reinforces what is the point of the website, who is your ideal client, and connecting back with them. Because the power of visualization is so important. And when you're having conversations with your client or potential client, you start talking about business, aim, client, logo. Do you have an idea for a hero banner or image? What about your images? Have you thought about your font? Have you thought about your color scheme? Or if you start to give them back things like the Colorpalettes.net with some images for them to pick, you're not overwhelming them. But if you do it in a very careful, staged process, it helps you to formulate an idea of what the website's going to look like. And it shows them that you're not just one of those people who's turned up and goes, yeah, I can build your website. And in actual fact, they can't really build the website because they're second guessing. I hope this makes sense in terms of palettes and fonts.